You muted.
Yo, yo. Okay. We good. We good. We are live. We are here. It's your favorite hip hop connoisseur, Drew Soul Quest, and you are watching Quest Convo, where we talk the culture because we are the culture.
Hey man, this your man Dev Devious. We back at it one more time, man. I'm glad y'all tuning back in. We gonna get into it one more time.
All right, all right.
This is the one and only Tony P. I'm new to the podcast. I hope to give y'all some insight. I hope to take in some new information. So let's get it.
Yo, yo, Tony P. We got a guest in the house. He's holding it down with us, representing the youngins today. Get some intelligent black views up in here. Yeah, as y'all watching this pod, this is a beautiful thing. We got all the generations represented, all the perspectives and everything. And it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that too much on TV, on internet. We don't see that too much where you got all the generations perspectives stated and respected and spoke on and all that good shit. So it's a beautiful thing to see. So today on Quest Convo, it's a little bit different. You know, usually it's me and Dev, we holding it down, speaking on the hip hop culture, different aspects of it. Today is still that, but today Quest Convo is pretty much is going to be the trending talk edition, where we still speaking on things that are of our culture. It's just different little aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? Things that are more so trending in the news, but still relative to our culture and the black culture, hip hop culture, all that stuff. So that's pretty much what today is. We'll be doing this segment every once and again here and there. The Quest Convo Trending Topics edition. Before we get into it, man, how everybody doing? How everybody feeling?
Good, man. Getting ready to move.
Yep.
Got some moving to do. So
Mhm.
just getting ready for that. Who likes to fucking move? But
Man.
at the same time, you do what got to be done. But I can't complain, man. I'm blessed. I'm good. My family's good. And I'm here with some more family. So it's always good times.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. Is it far from like where you at now, or
No, it's about 10, 11 minutes from here.
okay?
So it ain't too bad. But it's definitely a better house like what we originally had wanted. And then I get my actual basement where I can actually set up and I can actually, have my chill space and I can actually set up my recording area. I gotta let you see it.
Okay. How you feeling, Tony P? How you feeling?
Man, pretty good, pretty good. It's crazy you brought that up, Dev. Small world, because I'm going through the same thing. Actually,
Right.
next week I was moving to Phoenix, Arizona. So,
Oh,
getting
okay. Shout
everything
out to
set
Phoenix.
up. Yeah, so it's going to be a process, but it's nothing we can't handle.
Are you a Suns
Right.
fan?
Am I what fan?
Are you a Suns fan?
No,
No.
I hate the
No.
Suns. I hate the Suns with a passion. In
Why
fact,
do you what did the Suns ever do to you, man? Like
you know
you,
what?
you know.
You know what? What haven't they done?
Just
Honestly,
see. All right, fine. I give you that. We'll have later discussions about this, but we're gonna have to. You might get a jersey in the mail, one day soon. Just
you know what? I might do like the Cleveland fans did when LeBron left. I might
okay.
have to do some jersey burning.
You
Okay.
gonna set
I'm
that
gonna
shit
I'm gonna
off?
make I'm gonna make sure just because. And if you do that, I got to make sure it's a fake one from China then for $20.
All right. All right.
uh, yeah, man. Yeah, you're gonna be out there with the great weather, the great air. Phoenix got some of the best weather and the best air.
I heard the food is off the hook too.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, it's beautiful women out there too. So that's
Oh
always
Yeah,
a
yeah, can't
can't forget
forget
plus.
about
that.
that.
Can't forget it. We don't got to speak on that.
Right, for sure. All right, man. So we gonna get into it. This is the first Quest Convo Trending Topics edition. So yeah, let's get into it. So I didn't know if I wanted to start with this or end with this. Try to end on a high note. So we gonna start with this. So yeah, man. it's no secret. It's in Shock the Globe. It's all over the planet. This is a topic that, it affects everybody, every culture, black, white, hip hop, all of that. Definitely prayers, healing energy to all the families affected by the Robb Elementary shootings. Um, it's unfortunately it's something that is not new to America. Um, most of the time as far as the school shootings go, it's usually something that, kind of affects the white community for the most part. It's usually a white shooter involved. This time is a little bit different. This community, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, seems to be like traditionally Hispanic. The shooter himself, he was Hispanic as well. But yeah, just like I said, prayers, healing energies to all the families affected. Super tragedy. I can't imagine going to pick up my child from school that I just dropped off this morning, my little second grader, third grader, and I go pick them up from school and they've passed away. Like, I can't imagine it. I can't wrap my mind around that. So I can imagine what those people are going through. Yeah, but it's sad. So far, or the final tally was like 19 children and 2 teachers initially were just slain. The gunman himself, he was 18 years old. I almost don't even want to say his name, but yeah, his name, let me get to it, Salvador something. What was his last name, y'all? Y'all know?
I think like Rodriguez or something like that. I think I don't know for sure, but it's really not that damn important
Yeah.
to get it right.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Whatever the hell we come up with, that's what his ass get.
Yeah, he'll just be Salvador for now, exactly. Yeah, but it's just really sad. My thoughts on it, it's a few things. I've said it a lot on social media before. Not saying racism isn't a thing in America that has constantly affected our lives for the last 400 years. But currently in America, I feel the biggest problems and issues are, classism and mental health.
Mm.
I feel those are the two biggest issues in America that affect the culture across the board, white, black, doesn't matter the background or anything. And just to elaborate on that a little bit, for example, this guy's situation. Yes, it is horrible that he decided to take all these little kids' life, change their families forever. It's horrible. It's wrong. The pain I can't imagine once again. But when you look at his background, dude himself, he had mental issues, had what they say, horrible childhood, all kind of shit going on in his house. His parents, his mama, substance abuse. I don't know what the drug was, but was affected with substance abuse, neglecting him. He's not getting the love he deserves. They said, like they spoke to some of his friends that kind of knew him. They was like, yeah, as they said the relationship he had with his mama and his parents, horrible, arguing all the time, cussing each other out. That's not no normal regular shit. Who is arguing with their mama, calling her a bitch and all that deep kind of arguing, you know what I mean? So his family life was fucked up, which initially, obviously, that affected him. Said he was picked on at school, bullied at school, was online interacting with different people and different females and threatening to shoot up their schools, threatening like he'll try to talk to certain girls and they turn him down. He's threatening to I'm gonna rape you and I'm gonna kill you. So he was a mentally touched person. The saying hurt people hurt people. So it's just like that's why I say it's a cycle that needs to be changed. Me and Dev have talked about that. This is kind of like the first time in America that mental health mental health has never been this much talked about. You know what I'm saying? People are really talking about it. People are trying to like normalize therapy and going to a psychiatrist and all that stuff. Because before, people didn't want to do it because you don't want people to look at you a certain way or feel a certain kind of way about you. Oh, this motherfucker crazy, or from the Black perspective of things. Black people are the most spiritual, religious people on the planet, and it's no secret. All the Black people can relate. What we gonna do? We gonna pray it away. God gonna fix everything. God's gonna change everything. That's pretty much what we were taught. So we really shunned getting any kind of help or therapy or anything like that. It was an embarrassment. It was, oh my God, I can't have other people thinking my kid's crazy and this. And with that thinking, it continues the cycle. And when I say that, a lot of times parents, they see shit in their kids early when they little. They see this shit is odd, the way they interact with other people. They see this shit is odd, the things they say and do and all that shit. And they just think, oh, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna put you on punishment. I'm gonna do this. Guess what? Putting a mentally ill child, whipping their ass and putting them on punishment, it's not gonna fix the problem.
It's going to exacerbate it.
Yeah, it's gonna keep going and keep going, and then they don't get the help, and then what happens? We get into school where we know kids ain't shit, and kids are cruel as hell. Kids are cruel as hell. Will talk about your ass, tease you, bully you, make you feel like shit. So then you got to deal with that. And now you just mad because I ain't getting no love at home. I ain't getting no love at school. You know what? Fuck all y'all.
Right.
And it just builds up until it explodes. And now everybody is affected. Everybody's lives has changed because of some shit that wasn't done 10 years ago, some shit that wasn't addressed 5 years ago, 7 years ago. You know what I mean? So I just think that cycle needs to change, and I'm real funny with it. Like, I just talk shit and I know it'll never happen. I'll almost say, like, just like you got to get a license to drive and got to be certified to do certain things. People almost need a damn evaluation even to become parents, because once again, everything starts at home. Everything starts with the parents at the end of the day. That's all cultures across the board. So if you starting on a rocky foundation, you starting on a financially cracked foundation, you're starting on issues in the home. I got mental issues. I got drug problems. I got all this, and we're gonna bring a kid into the world on top of all this shit.
Right.
Like, the kid don't have a chance in a lot of the cases. So yeah, we gotta break that cycle. Um, and people ain't gonna stop having sex. That's part of life.
Right.
I don't give a shit. Good times, bad times.
They're going to find a way.
That's part of life. So you're gonna have kids, but if people would just stop sometimes and think, because there are precautionary things you can do. It's birth control, it's condoms, it's all those things. If you can stop and think sometime, like, look, I know I'm fucked up. I got this going on. I don't got no money. I'm on drugs. My life is this. My life is that. Why would I want to bring a kid into the world on top of all this shit and think that that this is the best thing to do? Because like I said, it's a cycle. Fucked up people keep on creating fucked up people. That's pretty much where we're at. That's the cycle of the world. Fucked up people keep creating fucked up people, and we think the world is going to change and be a better place. It's not.
Nah.
So I'm just gonna, end with that. It's nothing wrong with, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm just getting there too within the last few years. Nothing is wrong with therapy. Nothing is wrong with going to a psychiatrist. Um, the world is a fucked up place. Life is hard, and people need tools to cope and to deal and to be successful and to be a proper parent. You know what I mean? It's you got to look at it. I know me and Devin had the conversation, but I said this before as well, where just like if you're sick or something is wrong, you're going to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how religious you are, how spiritual you are. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I do believe in God. Speak to him all the time. I am a spiritual person, not so much with the religious aspect, the religion aspect of it, but I'm definitely a spiritual person, so I get it. But like they say, what's the saying? You can have faith, but faith with no works
It is
ain't
dead.
nothing gonna happen.
Hmm.
So pretty much that's where it's at. Just like if you're sick, you need help, you got issues, you're going to the doctor. Ain't nobody making you feel funny about it. You break your shit, you going to the doctor. Nobody's gonna make you feel funny about it. They're not gonna look at you crazy or stupid or nothing, because this person is an expert who was put in place that can help you. You got to look at the same way with your mind. The mind is the most important part of the body. So why, if you having issues and problems with your mind, why should it be a thing to go get help? You going to the doctor of the mind to help you with your mind, that can make your life better, that can make your family's life better, that can make you be a better person, a better parent, or whatever. But that's pretty much my take on it. Once again, prayers, healing energy to all these families affected. Once again, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. My little baby, my little second, third, fourth grader. Are you serious to deal with that? Yeah, man. That's my piece, man. But
Yeah, it's a lot. For me personally, it's scary on different levels. Um, it's scary on one level because now I'm paranoid about anything. Just being out in public. I don't even really like going to places where it's a lot of crowds or it's a lot of people, because we can't forget about the people who lost their life in the other shooting up in Buffalo
yes,
the week
yes.
just last week. Um,
Mhm.
and it's those kind of things where it makes you not want to do nothing. You can't live your life in fear, but at the same time, this is something that is a this is something that's real. It's, things are happening out here, and though they can be easily avoided, if you stay out the way or if you try to avoid certain things like that. Um, but it's also scary just because um, you don't know the ripple effects of what this does. As far as gun control, more specifically, gun control with responsible gun owners who aren't going to commit heinous acts, anything like that. Um, the way our country operates, how certain things might get put in place now, the things like this keep happening, and eventually people, the government or whoever states, they're gonna have to make a statement. They're gonna have to make an example. They're gonna have to start putting stuff in place, to make sure that this doesn't happen. And also to go back to your, piggyback off of your mental health aspect, as far as in the Black community, what you didn't mention is outside of praying it away, we have a tendency to just deal with things
Mm,
and just suffer in silence, and
mm.
not talk about it, or not talk about it with anybody else, and we pretty much just hold on to it, and we carry it with us all through life. So, and we might not snap, but we might have different. That's why you see so many different arguments. That's why you see, people so willing to fight, or you can't look at somebody a certain way or say certain things because we got all these different traumas and different things that's locked up inside of us that we never got out, never talked about it, never had an outlet for it. So any type of little situation or little blow up or anything like that, we use those situations as an excuse to outlet and react and act the certain ways that we do when we have those situations come up. But I definitely want to say, rest in peace to the families, to the children. It's horrible. Um, and it's scary also because, I feel myself getting like numb to this. It's like I hear stuff like this and I see it and I automatically know it's horrible, but it's like I don't, I hate to say it, but it's like I stop feeling because it just happens so damn much. You get it's like you watching violent shit all the time. After a while, people getting cut in half ain't gonna bother you no more because that's all you do is watch people get cut in half. And when every time it's a shooting and just shooting, I'm like, shit, I can't. That's too much energy. This just, it's like watching the news. I don't, if you don't even watch the news, you don't even give them a chance to enter your spirit with any type of negativity. But you also need to know that these things are going on. So that makes it even that much more harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. May all the people who succumb to this senseless act of violence, I hope they rest easy. Unc, you brought up mental health and death. I believe you touched upon this too. We have a tendency to just deal with things, and a lot of households too. They're so broken. You have the father who may not be present. You have the mother; she can't be at the house because she's working 2 or 3 jobs. So the kid really is just there. The kid has food and water and stuff like that. But as far as the interaction with both parents, to have some sort of guidance, a lot of people, especially in our community, they don't have that. So we make jokes about in a lot of white communities, a lot of children they disrespect their parents, like "F you, mom, I'm gonna do this," all this other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so in our community, it's like we just smack them upside their head, which is fine, right? Because that we've been doing that for a long time, and it works obviously because we're all here. But the role of guidance, I feel like that's missing. We may beat our kids, but if you explain to your child why this has happened, you've done X or Y, so Z must happen because it's a consequence of your action, right? So I feel like we need to rein in our emotions, and especially in this society, rein them in. You can feel how you feel. It's okay. We're all human. We're not robots, right? But how you act on those emotions, that's what's the problem that we have right now.
Mm.
And I was just taking notes. I lost a pen. I was looking for it, but I was just taking down notes on my phone. Um, yeah, Dev, you said earlier, a tendency to just deal with things. That's the real issue. You have to be able to again have a stable family and a stable social framework so that you're able to talk about these things. You know, um, and if you don't, things like this happens. As far as the gun control aspect, it's funny. A lot of people in the government, it's a large saying in journalism and in media: never let a crisis go to waste. It's a Japanese word. Crisis and opportunity, they're synonymous. They mean the same thing. Um, Very rarely do people make their best decisions under duress, right? So if your house is burning down, if you don't have a plan, right? If you haven't sat down with your family beforehand and discussed, okay, if there's a fire, it's a bag downstairs, it's a bag wherever. Get this bag, take it outside, forget everything else, go outside, right? If you don't do that, because they're hard conversations to have. But if you don't have those conversations, if you act in a crisis, that's how people die. Oh, I got to go back and get my wedding ring, or I got to get the dog upstairs. He sleep. Sometimes your life is more important. Material things you can get those back, but a life is irreplaceable. a lot of politicians, they use these mass shootings almost as a way to get funding, because very rarely do bills get passed. It is just that bill. Like it may be called the infrastructure bill, or it may be called, I don't know, the mental health bill. It's still going to have a lot of things inside of that bill and the fine print that fills the pockets of these politicians at the end of the day. So it's a saying called pork. It's all that pork in the bill. So you have a politician in Washington who will seem like he's doing a good thing. Hey, I'm going to have this bridge built in this community. Never mind the fact that the bridge is going to be named by him, and he's going to give funding for the bridge, right? But the bridge is named by his last name, so it's like his legacy lives on forever. So he's naming the bridge after him. That's the only reason why the bridge is being constructed. If it didn't go down like that, the bridge would have never been built. Um, I watched this guy. He ran in the 2020 presidential election, Beto O'Rourke. I could be butchering his name, but he showed up to a conference regarding this mass shooting in Texas, and he used it as like for a political goal. He walked up and he accused everybody of not caring, and he wanted to enact legislation for that, which is it's ridiculous on so many levels. Um, this may not be a popular belief that I have, but I feel that I'll use an example that I may have used before with you, Uncle, but I'll use it again. Uh, we're familiar with the NBA dunk contest, right?
Yeah.
Like it's very fun to watch. It's entertaining, right? It's amazing. Amazing feats are being achieved, right? People doing windmill dunks between the legs, reverse, all those sorts of things, right? But why do we watch them? Why do we watch these events? We watch them because they're exceptionally rare, right? If everyone had the ability to dunk, then why are we watching the dunk contest for? I can go out to the park today and I can see the same thing if that was the case, right?
1,000%.
Um, a lot of these mass shooters, like I read part of the manifesto of the mass shooter in Buffalo, and part of the reason why he chose the place that he chose to commit that heinous act was because he knew that that supermarket or that region, it was very low on gun ownership and was very low on it was a very low possibility that he would he would what's the word I'm looking for, that he would come across someone that was already armed when he was committing the crime. uh, a lot of people don't know this. The vast majority of mass shootings, they happen in gun-free zones, which seems crazy. It's like, okay, if everyone's strapped, right? If everyone has a gun on them, it would seem like mass shootings would happen constantly. But you actually have the opposite effect. If everyone is armed, the moment someone the moment some sicko decides to go off on everybody, he's getting lit up,
Basically.
right? So if you have an elementary school, right, with unarmed teachers, with unarmed security guards, with unlocked doors, well, you're setting yourself up for failure. Some sicko could come and have its way with you, right? And now you're waiting minutes for law enforcement to arrive. The law enforcement with guns to deal with the problem, right? And I'm not trying to cape for like the Constitution. There's a lot of flaws in this country, but it's there for a reason. The Second Amendment is there. They could see that hundreds of years in the past, and unfortunately, it's something I feel if people don't get in touch with, like me, I'm considering gun ownership. Because I know, hey, if something pops off, like if I'm with my family, someone breaks inside the house, even if I'm a world class fighter, it's only so much my hands can do, right? There could be 2, 3 dudes with guns, and then what? I call the police with guns that could take minutes to arrive after the crisis has already happened, has already transpired. So that's my whole thing about it. I feel like crises like these, they can be at the very least mitigated if people use the powers that they can use. If people know, hey, I could be a responsible gun owner. I have this tool that I use for protection and self-preservation. If I know how not to abuse that, then things would be in a better place. Unfortunately, the killers in these situations, they have their way, and you know that's just how
Yeah.
it's going to be. Uh, what's scary to me is that a lot of people in the government too, they use these crises and they say no one should have weapons.
That part.
And historically speaking, the most atrocious acts have been carried out by governments who have a disarmed population, because the government knows if you're unarmed, then we have all the missiles and the tanks and the guns. We can do whatever we want, and you can do nothing but complain about it because all the power has been transferred. Right? There's a reason why the world wars happened. There's a reason why Nazi Germany was able to do all these terrible things to the Jews and to the Gypsies and Romanians. It's because they were unarmed and they couldn't do anything about it. So it's very scary when you see a government, especially like ours, supposed to be the land of the brave, home of the free, and they're saying we just got to take rights from everybody. But
Yeah. Yeah,
that's my
man.
2 cents.
And I just
Yeah.
wanted to add one more thing too,
Go
and
ahead.
that I thought was real inappropriate concerning the shooter. As far as I guess this guy's parents came out and basically apologized on his behalf and asked for forgiveness um, for their son for what he did and everything
Now,
like that.
are you
And
talking about the
the the
Robb
shooter,
Elementary or the Buffalo?
Robb Elementary,
Oh, okay.
yeah, the parents came out, and I just really thought that was inappropriate. Even if you were genuine and even if you were sincere, I'm just like it's too soon. It's way too soon. Like you can't come out the next weekend after it just happened and saying, "Oh, forgive him," and all this other stuff. And he's literally taking children's lives. Like these weren't just full grown adults or something like that. That may or have. He was a kid. They didn't have a chance
Yeah.
at all. So I don't. I felt like that. If anything, is putting a bigger target on your back and turning the heat up even hotter than it got to be for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it just got to get to the point. I'm definitely not against gun ownership at all. I'm a gun owner, have been for shit years. I just feel it's a couple of things where they're gonna have to really sit down and work out the fine print and the details is when it comes to the stipulations they put in place for you to buy a gun and then these assault rifles, because that's where the gray area is at. Yes, I'm not against no gun owner, but at the end of the day, I'm not in war. I'm not Scarface. Like, do I really need this 100 round ass drum? Do I really need this 100 round ass assault rifle? You know what I mean? Like, that's because at the end of the day, all these mass shootings, all these school shootings, ain't nobody walking in with their little Ruger 4.45 and just unloading that clip, because that would be that's it. It would only be a couple of casualties, or somebody would be able to take them out before it gets to that. But when I come in with the 100 round on your ass, ain't nobody got a chance in hell. Like, and so the stipulations and the details when it comes to these assault rifles, and then the details or the process of somebody even getting that kind of gun, that's what's going to have to be worked out. You know what I mean? It's just, and I know it's a lot of money involved, the NRA and all that bullshit, but just for me to get a license to drive in America, I got to go through all kind of fucking stipulations. I got to be at the DMV for 2 hours. Y'all need proof of this, proof of that. I got to have proof of insurance, proof of residency. I gotta go through an arm and a leg and present all kind of paperwork and documents to get a fucking license to drive a car, which is important because I'm behind the wheel. Once again, it's other people's lives in jeopardy and all that stuff. I need to blah blah blah. But I go through all of that to get a license, but a motherfucker could walk in with an ID, Yeah, let me get that. And
Yeah.
just boom, really?
Yeah.
And this is something that once again is a tool that can take lives and do everything else. And I can just walk in and it's the easiest process. But to get a license, I gotta give you an arm and a leg and go through all. Nope, you need to come back. I need this, this, this. So it's just the process got to be more detailed. And then once again, when it comes to the assault rifle and these large round firearms and shit, that's what's where the gray area is, and the details got to be worked out. But once again, man, like I said, prayers, healing energy to people in Buffalo, Robb Elementary in Texas, healing energy to all of them. Terrible, terrible thing. Like I said, I couldn't imagine. But we're gonna keep it moving, y'all. Like I said, y'all are watching Quest Convo, the trending topics edition. Got our guest Tony P up in here. So we're gonna move along. Gonna talk about our guy Ye.
This shit.
You know what, Kanye? He's known. Okay, he's a musician. He's a producer, right? So he already has that artistic aspect of what he likes to do, right? Because this isn't new. He has a fashion line. He has clothing lines. The shoe line, the $1 million deal with Adidas, Yeezys. So him dappering in different companies. That's not too surprising. Uh, you guys have seen the box, right? It's like a
Yeah.
burger on
I
the
seen it.
cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got matter of fact, I'm gonna put it up real quick. I like it. It look cool. I ain't gonna lie. That shit look cool.
It
It
is
looks
different,
modern. It look artsy. It's
but he
all of
bit
that.
off. He bit off of Minecraft. I know. Tony know what I'm talking about. But when I looked at when I looked at that box, I'm like, that's some straight Minecraft shit. Like you didn't even really come up with that style necessarily. You kind of just took a style that kind of was already in existence and just plastered it on a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is I'm gonna put up the picture so everybody can see. So Ye, he tweeted this out like at the top of the week. You know what I'm saying? He tweeted this out, kind of broke it down, basically saying he had collab with Muji Industrial, which I guess is like a Japanese company or whatever, Muji Industrial. And he's working with one of their designers, Naoto Fusaka, and I might be saying that all
Fukasawa.
wrong, but he's working with that
Yeah.
designer.
Is nailed is what? Yeah, the first name is but Fukasawa is that second name, the last name.
Yeah, Fukusaka. So he's working with him, and they're basically just that's the thing. They're redesigning McDonald's packaging in the future. You look at the package, it's pretty much it's a little rectangular shape. Definitely, like y'all said, he's biting off Minecraft. The outsides of it is it's resembling a cheeseburger. At the top, they have the McDonald's logo, the classic golden arches. So and
It's
then y'all
McDowell.
keep in mind too, like I don't remember this, but they said that, first of all, Ye has always talked about how he's like McDonald's, and they talking about the collaboration been in the works for some time. Cause they was saying like it was a Super Bowl commercial that had Ye in that. Did
Hmm.
y'all I didn't notice that over the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can
I
go
didn't
on.
peep. I didn't peep at all.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until actually it was last night. Uh, I saw a snippet of the commercial. It was a music video Kanye did about a year and a half ago with his father. I believe it was called Christ Like. He was driving on his Wyoming land, and he had this big ATV like tank looking thing, and he was driving in it. That's the same thing he had in the commercial. But he pulled up to a McDonald's drive-through. He popped over in the little hood, and he said something crazy. But that's how the
Yeah.
commercial went.
I gotta look that up on YouTube or something. I never seen that, but yeah, I'm once again, man. I'm not mad at him. The dude is, hey, he's done what so many black men have not been able to do. The man
Yeah.
is a multi-billionaire at this point. I mean, and like he said, he is an artist, and he's trying to just, even with all his craziness and all the antics and everything else, he's trying to basically spread his artistic vision outside of music. He's already done it with fashion. Why not design McDonald's box, get that bag as well?
Yeah.
Um, he's doing his thing. Them boots ugly as hell though. I'm
Oh yeah.
sorry.
Well,
Those,
half the shit he put out is ugly as hell. I wouldn't put none of that shit on me or pay the
yeah,
prices for that shit. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, you
yeah.
know what? Hopefully, this is a big. Hopefully, this is an omen for a quality upgrade for McDonald's, because I've never in my life seen a McDonald's burger or sandwich that looks as detailed and as delicious as that cardboard box looks. So hopefully, this is a
Nah.
sign for things to come. Okay.
But what I mean for me though, with Kanye, he once again is just coming up like everything else he does. This is coming from complete left field. Uh, I remember when Quest sent me this and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be looking at this." My first thought was, "What the hell?" and why? But then I remember I'm like, okay, but it's Kanye. He's like you said, he's made at least in the past couple years, he's basically made a reputation for himself of getting into spaces where he absolutely has no business to be or very little business to be, and building and establishing credibility for himself, and then beginning to thrive in what me and probably millions of other people thought, what the hell is this nigga doing? So you like you say, yeah, I mean, at this point, Kanye, do whatever the hell you want, because you're gonna do it anyway. And just get your money, man. If they want to pay you to redesign the box, people gonna buy the shit anyway. It don't matter. It's just gonna be a check for him. So yeah, go on and do your thing, man. I'm not gonna eat it just because you designed the box. That's not gonna make me just
Right.
want McDonald's all of a sudden. Oh shit, Kanye's designing for them now. But at the same time, if they gonna pay you a big bag for it, and they want your vision and they want your expertise, then let them have it.
Yeah, I see a whole rollout with this shit. I see the first box that they sell of the new Kanye design. I see that shit being worth some money. They're
Yep.
gonna make that shit an NFT. I see it being a whole big ass rollout.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Ye and his whack ass fashion, I'm sorry, Ye. I love you, bro, but yeah, the fashion, at least the shit that he creates for retail sale consumption. I'm sorry, bro. It's not what it do. Never
But
have been.
it's weird though, because you say that. I don't know how Tone feel, and I know how I feel. Like I feel you. I echo your sentiments on that. But it's like the shit is hot just in the sense of, I see people with that on all different kinds of stuff. I see people with his shoes on or his clothes on or whatever. Like that's out there, and I mean, and I don't know what it is about. I don't know, just unattractive or the most obtuse or the most weird, whatever you can put together is like, that's just what's in. Just putting on anything together and just making the weirdest shape and the most outlandish, most out there kind of who would wear this kind of thing. And that's actually what everybody kind of want to wear as far as the high fashion world go.
Yeah. 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 Dev, I agree with what you're saying, man. A lot of people wear that sort of thing. Lord knows why. I think it's the downfall of the West, honestly, because it's like over the last 25 years or so, it's become popular, or it's become trendy to wear things like streetwear. Streetwear people, if you look at like your old family photo album, your grandparents, your great grandparents, they left the house with suits on, the polished shoes. They had the
Mm.
fancy dresses and the feathers in their hair. Now, streetwear is like, I'm making an effort to look like I don't care, but
Right.
I still care about not looking a certain way. So it's
Uh,
just weird because like it's not even symmetrical. Like his shoes, it's just a whole bunch of random holes in it. It's like
Yeah.
It's like you're homeless or something. Uh, I don't know.
Well,
You
see,
know,
you hit it right on the head. So pretty much just like you said, through the years overall, yes, fashion as a whole has just kind of deteriorated as far as what's acceptable, what's appropriate. Because, like you said, when you look at any of, like you said, our grandparents' pictures back in the day where they was fighting for their life and being their ass kicked in the street, everybody, for the most part, like you said, dressed like a gentleman and a lady. Everybody had on slacks and pants and suits and ties and button-up shirts, looking presentable. Now, then it went from that to, like you said, the streetwear aspect, which pretty much was created once again out of hip hop culture, black culture, all that. Then it went from that to, like you said, the fall of the West, where it's like the European and the foreign aspects of fashion, what they were doing kind of took over, and we 100% embrace that. Because just for a great example is with Ye, that's where that whole look comes from. That whole bummy, homeless ass look, that was a European thing that was created over there, and he took that aspect and kind of, had them in mind to sell it to. Because, right first off, you from Chicago, bro. Where you from, ain't nobody trying to dress like no bum. Where you from, bro? It's all black people. Everybody trying to look fly.
Fresh,
The brokest nigga,
fresh as hell.
yeah, the brokest nigga is trying to look rich as fucking
Yes,
possible. We're not trying to look like we broke, trying to look bummy, but that look is a thing in the rich community, the European, the rich community. It is a thing. It's a cool thing. You seen with Balenciaga. I don't know if they're out yet or they're about to come out. They have that. They call it a distress shoe. The whole shoe looks literally like you found that shit in the alley, in the dumpster. It's
yeah,
completely
yeah,
torn and stained
yeah.
and everything.
Off white, all that.
Yeah, and they're charging 1,500 for it, and
Yeah,
people are gonna buy it
I'm just like,
because
no.
that's the vibe right now. That whole homeless, futuristic looking shit. That's the vibe, and it is what it is. People can call it fashion or whatever, but for the most part, in
Damn
the
that.
black community, in the hood, we're not embracing that shit. We're not rocking that shit.
I tell you right now, if I go, I don't care who it's made by. If I go to the damn store and I pay $400 for a T-shirt with some holes already in it that I ain't made,
Yeah.
ain't nobody gonna get. Maybe somebody else outside the black folks probably care. Niggas not gonna care about that shit.
No.
Like, no, I'm like, hey, but this shirt Gucci though, nigga, you got holes in your shirt.
Yeah.
What is you doing?
Yeah.
No, I'm not
it's
doing that.
just decadence. People just trying to be all pretentious, man. Like
Yeah,
just because it's new and it's in the store, it doesn't mean you have to get it. And that doesn't mean that it's cool. Just because your rich friends are rocking some things to make them look like they just came 200 miles, right? It doesn't make it cool.
at all.
Yeah. But yeah, transitioning from that. Once again, y'all, summertime is officially here. I want to give shouts out to dopest hiphoptees.com. They are tees and hoodies created for cool people that love hip hop culture, created by cool people that love hip hop culture. And it's all fly, y'all. It ain't no crazy, bummy, homeless bullshit. It's some shit. They're unique designs. They're dope. They're cool. They're representing hip hop. They're made by black people. It's something that when you do go out, it's gonna be an eye-catching piece. It's gonna be something that people are gonna pay attention to. You're gonna stand out. They're gonna ask you, where did you get it from? They're definitely gonna ask you, where did you get it from? When y'all see it, hey, dopest hiphoptees.com. Y'all go there now. Use the promo code I love hip hop. You get 20% off all the purchases. So y'all definitely support that. But yeah, we're gonna definitely keep it moving. what's the next topic? So we're gonna move it to let's see. Yeah, let's go on and move it to this shit. And before we jump into this, have y'all? I'm gonna put up the picture. Did y'all see the picture?
I saw the shit.
You seen it? Okay,
I seen it.
so let me put up this picture so y'all can see this.
I'm gonna confess too, it was like, come on Walmart, but I did want to try it just a little bit, like what it tastes like. Yeah, that right there.
So yeah, y'all. Earlier this week, let me find this. Yeah, so earlier this week, Great Value, which is a Walmart brand, they released the Juneteenth ice cream. It was Walmart's attempt to commemorate Juneteenth with a new ice cream. Did not go over so well. Walmart, they eventually pulled it from the shelves after people were complaining, addressing their thoughts on social media. The company, they apologized for selling Celebration Edition Juneteenth ice cream, once again under the Great Value label. It sparked backlash. Like I said, people on social media was losing it. It said so on there. It said that share and celebrate, like on the packaging. Y'all see the packaging? It kind of got the Afrocentric colors, the African kind of colors. It says share and celebrate African American culture, emancipation, and enduring hope. It was like a red velvet flavored ice cream with like cheesecake. It sounds fire, actually.
That's why I say I low-key wanted to try it a little bit.
My thing with it, so it's saying that people had issues with it. It was saying it was like exploitive, a lot of those things, and they had other Juneteenth themed items like plates and different things like that. I guess they're gonna pull them as well. So this is my thing with this. I'm not gonna lie. So when I first saw this story, I was like, okay. And this is before I seen the packaging and really got it. When I first heard the story, I was like, okay, why are people so mad about this? Like, why is people so pissed off about it? And I'm thinking I'm gonna see the package and it's gonna be some old insensitive. I was like, they got an afro on the package or something, or got some little character
Oh yes,
dancing with
sir.
the
Thank
ice
you, sir.
cream.
Yes.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Fucking job, right? You thought
I thought it was gonna be
he
some
thought it was
bullshit
about to
like
be
that.
Sambo on the cover, y'all.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be Sambo on the cover with an afro eating the ice cream.
Wee, this some good chicken.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be some shit like that, but then I see it and I'm like, okay, I'm missing it. I'm missing it. Why are people so mad? And then I read about it. They was like, okay, it's just a exploitive thing. They're trying to exploit the Juneteenth celebration that is so dear to Black people. And once again, hey, I'm not and I always say I'm in the middle. I'm not the most smartest Einstein, but I'm far from a dumb nigga as well. So I still didn't really get it. I'm like, how is it so exploitive? I'm like, if anything, you're acknowledging the Juneteenth holiday. You're acknowledging it. You're kind of bringing it more into light. You're saying you had on the package, yeah, celebrate Black culture, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so how is it exploitive? I'm like, at the end of the day, if you're going to say that, I'm like, everything is exploitive. I'm like, look at all the shit that Black people buy that is targeted to us, catered to us, and 90% of it is not made by Black people. 90% of it is made by white people that don't give a fuck about you. but you still buy it, you still consume it. A lot of it you don't really have a choice because a lot of it is just essential things that we need in life. But I'm like, everything we buy or consume for the most part, just know that 90% of it, 95% of it is made and comes from a white company that don't give a fuck about you. So I'm like, in knowing that, and then also kind of parallel comparing it to this other shit, niggas will spend they last on the polo, on the Gucci, on the this, on the that, spend an arm and a fucking leg to support these white culture vulture people that hone in. That's exploitive to me, and I'm guilty of it too. I've
Yeah.
done it, but that's
Yep.
exploitive. But ain't nobody said shit about that. Like I say, Gucci come out with the most disrespectful shit, and people protest about it, talk about it for a few months, and guess what?
Back
Niggas
to
still
wearing
back.
it.
Nigga, look at the Gucci belt. Look at the this and the this and the this. So I'm like, why is all of that cool? Spending thousands of dollars on this shit that's made for your black ass, but they know they don't care about your black ass. Ain't none of them. We just getting people on the board at Gucci and a lot of these big high-end designers or whatever. But I'm like, y'all cool with that. But this $3 package of fucking Juneteenth ice cream just got you in a frenzy over the $3 ass box of ice cream.
Well, let me see because I can see it both ways. I'm gonna try and maybe I can connect some dots for you. Maybe I can help you kind of understand. Because there is different levels to it. First off, when I saw it and heard everything about it, my first thought was it wasn't even outrage. It was like, Walmart, what the fuck are y'all doing? Because and I say that because, like, Drew, I don't know how deep into the internet you are, but I'm deep into the internet shit in the comment section and everything like that. And the when you talk about people who spending their last, on Gucci and Polo and all this other kind of good stuff, them ain't the same type of people who going off about. I can assure you, them people don't give a fuck about no Juneteenth ice cream. They're spending their last on Gucci and Polo and all this other stuff. But we live in a very sensitive time now where people are looking for a reason to say or look at anything like, hey, that's some bullshit, or hey, that's offensive, or hey, this is that, that's this, whatever the case may be. And when I saw it, it came across kind of tone deaf, because as far we've always known Juneteenth was a thing, but then it's kind of like woke, and how the damn white people stole woke from us and tried to start interpreting it into their own little meanings for things like that. It's just like, what, in the last 2-3 years, I ain't never heard no white people talk about no damn Juneteenth
No.
ever.
Yeah,
And I'm just
that,
like, yeah, I'm just like, and then I started hearing white people talk about Juneteenth. Where the fuck y'all come from? Like, and that kind of play into the whole shit about, well, it's always been there, but it ain't validated until white people acknowledge it, type shit.
Mm.
And when they come out of nowhere, when nigga Juneteenth been a thing, shit, we knew about Juneteenth for years. I learned about this like 4th, 5th grade or something like that, and that was 2002. That's basically 20 years ago. So now y'all just now start talking about it, kind of like a sense of like, why are y'all, doing it now, kind of deal. And yeah, when you kind of do stuff where it seemed like it kind of seems inconsiderate, or it kind of just, it did seem kind of cash grabby. It kind of did, just a little bit, because, what does that really accomplish? I think that's kind of what a lot of people are like, what does that do? That's not doing anything for anybody. It's not like if we buy the shit out of it, you donating to HBCUs, or you're giving back to disenfranchised communities, or you gonna build a damn Walmart center in or build courts. It's not nothing like that. It's just like you're just doing it to say, hey, yeah, we see y'all, and then there's this. And it kind of comes across as like fake and phony. And when you got the cancel culture slash sensitive culture slash black folks in general and their perceiving of any and everything that could maybe might just a little bit be racist or a slight against us, we're on their ass as far as on the internet. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, Dev. You know what? You added some nuance to my uncle's position. I was gonna agree with my uncle on this, but you know what? Yeah. It's not like they came out with this and they're donating, part of their profits to an HBCU, right, or something that could be beneficial to the black community. So I could definitely understand why someone could be upset about that. But two, on the flip side, it's like our lives in this country, or just in general, in comparison to our ancestors, right? No one has to work in a coal mine or plow in the field for 12 hours a day, right? No one has to go to the store, have to get on their horse, scoop horse poop off the sidewalk, right? Make sure the horse is fed before they can go out to get some food to eat, right? You know, it's just decadence, man. People find when people's lives get too easy, they find the smallest things to overcome a problem. Because this is the nature of life, right? If there's a problem, you try and solve it. If you don't solve it, you die. So if you're complacent for too long, it's almost like it's not a bad thing if your life is already good, right? But it's still that urge. It's the underlying urge all of us have. It's like, okay, something needs to happen. I need to have conflict with something. I need to better my life in some way, shape, or form. So it's always gonna be this, as long as our lives are, relatively speaking, without any major conflicts, there are always going to be people who feel that they need to make a mountain out of a molehill. Right? It's going to be the biggest problem out of a similarly small issue.
Yeah. And that's did kind of help me to look at it from different sides, because I did get that perspective from someone. They pretty much was saying that where it would have been different if Walmart would have been selling the Juneteenth ice cream and the proceeds 20% is going to some blah blah blah, some serious black cause. I do get that, and I do understand that that would have been a better look for them, like they really care and they really trying. I still take it back around to, so at the end of the day, business is business, whether it's black business, white business, or whatever. There are certain principles and things that people are going to do to market and pander to whoever you pandering to. People use that word pandering lightly, but at the end of the day, that's what marketing is.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're selling, what person, what race, whatever. That's what marketing is. You're finding what's your audience. My audience like this. My audience is black. My audience are women. My audience is men. That's what marketing is. You're gonna, if you're in business, if you're trying to sell a certain product, you're gonna market it to the person you're trying to sell it to. Everything is not for everybody. Everybody's not gonna buy everything. One thing I've seen a shift in corporate America since the pandemic, and before that, when, well, police still killing black people, but when all that shit was going down in Minnesota and all that, and they was burning up shit and tearing up shit, I've seen that shift in corporate America where companies like Target and even Walmart and some of these other companies, they're trying to be, it may not even be, so to speak, genuine, but they're trying to be very inclusive of everybody, because like Devin, like you said, they know the power of our dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we represent 12% of the population, we spend more money than any fucking body. We poor as hell, 12% of the population, but our spending dollars, we spend.
In the trillions. In the trillions.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They say that we can't even keep our money because as soon as we get it, it's spent. We buy and buy and buy. And so they know that. So they kind of have shifted things, the way they market things, the different products that they sell. They have kind of changed it because they do want to be inclusive. because they don't want that bad look on social media. They don't want people talking about, oh, they don't care about Black people. They don't care about blah, blah, blah. So they are trying to be more inclusive. Now, whether it's genuine or not, that's another thing, but it still doesn't change the actual action. And I think that's where I was at, where I get it. Y'all, it may not be genuine. You may not give a fuck. All of those things. I understand that and I accept that. But we can't, I mean, we can do whatever we want. But I'm saying on one hand, they knocking that. But then on the other hand, as Black people, we talk about how y'all don't acknowledge us, how we're not included in this, how you don't do things for us. So it's just like, you can't be on both sides. It's like, okay, y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all don't do nothing for us. Y'all don't make nothing for us. You don't acknowledge us. This. But then when they do, we gonna poke holes in the shit. And oh, you don't really mean it. And oh, that's bullshit. And
I mean, but can you
it's
really
like, what
blame
is it?
niggas?
Like, you want us to acknowledge it, or you don't want us to do nothing? It's like we do it, and then y'all niggas gonna poke holes in it. It's like.
But I mean, but I definitely feel you 100%. But I just when people bring up Black skepticism and Black people being skeptical, I just be, to on a certain, I'm like, God damn it, don't you think we didn't earned the right to just ponder this shit? Like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because people just when looking at throughout history and what people have, others have done to us, and how they've, and I'm not talking about just physical, I'm talking about the psychological, because we don't when it comes to racism, shit like that, we don't talk about the psychological factor enough. The shit that only we see, the shit that only we notice, the shit that we deal with in our heads that we got to think about when we go in certain places, things like that. It's yeah, I feel like it's not our fault all the way. We got some part, we play a part in everything, but I don't think it's just 100% our fault for us to just be skeptical for shit or to be
Yeah,
skeptical about anything. I mean,
yeah,
if you just look at the history, I feel like Black people kind of have the right in more situations than not to be skeptical of a lot of things.
yeah. I mean, too, with Black skepticism too, it can be detrimental in a sense
Yeah,
because if there is something that comes out that will benefit a certain group, Black people, like if it benefits our community, then if we don't take that, that may in the long run hurt our community. But it's like this. It's like as far as like the woke mob and everything, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna act who they're gonna act. It's like if I make a lemonade stand to thirsty joggers around my house, right? It wouldn't make much sense for one of the thirsty joggers to walk up to me and then say, "You're pandering to thirsty joggers. You don't really care about thirsty joggers." Okay, but when you buy from my lemonade stand, right? You're benefiting from my drink. So does it really matter? Does it matter?
Good point. That's what yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, and like I said, I'm a very open minded person, and I get everybody's perspective on it and why they feel the way they feel. Yeah, exactly. I just look at it like, where at the end of the day, it's business. We know these huge corporate companies. It's always, I just accept it, whether you acknowledging us, pandering to us, creating products that are marketed to Black people, whatever the case is. There's never a question. Of course, it's always for money. I know that. It's
Right.
definitely, it's always for money. You really, most of the time, you really don't give a fuck. You
At
don't
all.
care or whatever. But I say, as long as you're gonna acknowledge the Black aspect, as long as you're gonna take maybe some proceeds from this product that only Black people are buying and do something, or donate some of it to a Black cause that's gonna make things a little bit better. Um, it's a little bit easier to swallow, and I do get that, and I do understand that. But I'm just against where I'm my only gripe in this whole situation. I'm against the person that, just like I said before, where you talk about how white corporate America don't give a fuck about us. They don't do anything for us. They don't give anything back. They don't create products with us in mind. And then when they do, you still got something to it's some, you still got something to say, because it's like, okay, so what's your gripe then? It's like you're complaining about it, then when they do it, you still got a fucking problem with it, and then
Well,
it's just like, well, then what are you talking about? Like, what the fuck?
well, one more thing, and it ain't even about necessarily black people. This is a general thing, because if we want to stay on business in the climate that we are in today, you have to be very mindful, because when I was in school and I was taking my PR class and everything like that, we were talking about things like this, where you, as a company, you have to be very careful and very strategic on everything you say, do, interact, all that other stuff, because it's all about perception. And like you always tell me, perception is reality. And how you present something, how you roll something out, how you introduce a new product or something like that, that could be the difference into exponentially growing your business, your brand, whatever, or taking a $50 million stock hit for simply making a simple misstep. And you put the wrong image, or you put the wrong word, or like how this this is Walmart, so it's not going to affect them too much. But just like, if this was somebody else, what if it wasn't Walmart and it's Kroger's, or it's Target or some shit like that, and they lose 100 million overnight because of some shit like this? Is that good business? That's
Yeah.
not good business, because you just lost 100 fucking million dollars in stock.
Yeah. No,
So
I
you
yeah.
got to look at it from both sides, because business is business, but you ain't got no business if the people who you're trying to give that business to don't fucking want it,
Right.
or think that you're bullshitting them, because you don't get customers in when you think that they're being exploited, taken advantage of, or bullshitted. That's a big thing in business that you got to keep in mind as well.
Mm. One last thing I would like to say in regards to this. You know, when you bend to someone's accusation, a lot of times they make the situation worse. It's like with the witch trials. It's like if someone says you're a witch, it doesn't mean that you're a witch, right? If someone accuses you, oh, you stole this from me. No, I didn't. You don't have to defend yourself. No, I was here at 1:58 p.m. I did X, Y, and Z. You don't have to do all that. You either did or you didn't do it. And if they don't have the proof behind it, oh, well, it's just because I don't like it. Or I don't like you. Because what if this situation, what if it wasn't Walmart? What if this was some small mom and pop shop who honestly had good intentions? You know what? It's Juneteenth, or it's coming around that time, so we're gonna come out with this small ice cream line because African Americans, they make up a large portion of our consumer base. So we're gonna put this out because they're probably gonna like it. Now, if you vote with your dollar, because capitalism, it has good things and it has bad things. But one of the good things is, like, if you don't like something, you can vote with your dollar and not buy it. And if no one buys it, okay, maybe this wasn't a good idea, so we're going to pull it from the shelves. We're going to come up with something better. Because now it's like with Walmart, it's like bending their will now. Like, it's like they bent over for the woke mob. It's like, okay, you probably didn't do this with ill intention, but you're making it seem like you did it with ill intention now because it's like you pulled it away. Right? It's like if I walked past a bank robbery and I started explaining to police, oh, well, it wasn't me. It definitely wasn't me. That could really hurt, especially if it happens to a smaller business. So,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, definitely. It is what it is. At the end of the day, that's another thing too, how, we all got something to say. Like I said, when these white companies do these things to cater or pander towards us and all that stuff, at the end of the day, that's another thing that bothers me, where everybody got something to say about that. But do you support black business? That's what I'm
Right.
saying. You won't support black business, the majority of the shit you buy are not from black companies and all these different things, but you'll talk all that shit and do your thing online and blah 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 and all that stuff, but you won't go and support a black business. If you're going to talk all this shit about white corporate America doing this and not caring and pandering and blah 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 blah, how about support the black business? Spend your dollars to the struggling black companies that really need your dollar for whatever product you can. Now, I understand a lot of the shit we need, essential shit in life, it is what it is. Walmart got it, Kroger got it, Target got it. It's not really a black owned place where we can go to get a lot of our essential things.
It's not practical. It's
Yeah,
not
you know what I'm
practical
saying?
to shop all black, like that. You can
Yeah.
do it, but it's not. You gonna have to jump through hella hoops.
Yeah, like and it's sites out there. They got a site. I forgot what it's called. I don't know if it's called blackbusiness.com, whatever. So I'm just saying, if we're gonna, create a hoopla about these other things, at the end of the day, that's support black business. Spend your dollars with black owned companies as much as you possibly can. I don't know all the insides, all the outsides of everything. I'm gonna say shouts out to Target. Target seems like, and once again, steal money, but Target, they really, every damn commercial I've seen probably in the last year or so for Target, they're talking about some black shit, some black stuff they donating to. They're talking about this black business, this black skincare line they got in the store. They really, regardless if it's genuine or not, they're really at least presenting like it's really genuine, like they really care, like they really trying. I will say with that,
They
for
probably
real.
did better marketing research. They probably tested the market better.
Yeah.
They probably that, and I think that might be the difference. That might be the difference between Target and Walmart. Just real quick, is that Target might have took months at a time with whatever it is they're doing and kind of research and probably talk to some of their employees, probably talk to some of the, have some of the employees get feedback from people that they know or something like that, versus Walmart just was in the boardroom. I got it. Let's make a Juneteenth ice cream and just put the shit out and just throw it out there.
Say these niggas love red velvet. I hear them talk about it all the time.
Put some red velvet, some cheesecake. They'll eat it. It's Juneteenth. Everybody just started, and you can't never be sure because it's all behind closed doors. But like I said, stuff like that can make all the difference on how you receive. Because like you said, for the past year, Target been doing all kinds of this, that, and other. Who been on Target's ass? Nobody.
Right.
But but everybody on Walmart's ass.
Yeah.
At the same time, it can be what you said, and I agree with that. But at the same time, you never know one way or the other which one is shifting towards. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You never really know.
Yeah, for sure. But once again, end of the day, hey, y'all support black business.
Support black business.
Yeah, white people, black people, or whatever. If y'all woke and you for the cause, support black business. That's gonna be the biggest help to us at the end of the day. So yeah, we gonna Brandy. Yeah, Brandy and Jack Harlow, man, that shit is crazy right now. Like,
okay, I read it, but I still don't. What's the problem?
So
I still don't understand what the problem is.
So I'm gonna say this. I feel you too. I don't really,
like. I read it. I'm like, I don't know more about the situation after I read it than before I read it.
So pretty much, y'all, if you don't know, so the situation right now, Jack Harlow, white hip hop artist, he's super hot right now. Super hot. Whether you like him, don't like him, he's super hot right now. He got the Drake co-sign. He's on DJ Drama's label. Jack Harlow is hot right now. He cool. You know what I mean? He's cool. I ain't gonna say all that, but he's cool. So anyway, he was on the Hot 97 show with Ebro. They was doing some kind of little game or something like that, and they was playing like one of Brandy's songs, and they're giving him hints so he can try to figure out. He said Aaliyah. He said something else, and they trying to give him hints so he can guess that this song being played is from Brandy.
Right.
Then they was like, I think they threw out the hint like it's Ray J's sister, and he was like, Ray J's sister, like, who is that? Like,
yeah.
What the hell? Blah blah blah. So once again, it went from there. Now I'll say it is petty. I'm usually not for the petty. With this, I'm the little bit of pettiness I have in me. I'm kind of here for this pettiness. I kind of am because so it's like this. Brandy went to social media and people was talking shit because I think it branches from this. It kind of branches from Jack Harlow. Yes, we know you young, bro. We understand. But you're making a living in black culture. You're trying to come out and present yourself as one of the best in black culture. You're in hip hop, the blackest culture there is. So we've gotten to the point, especially with a lot of us older people, we've gotten to the point we're tired of seeing that and using that as an excuse. Oh, they young. That's how come they didn't know about so and so, so and so. Oh, they young, so they didn't know about so and so, so and so. Nigga, you take your black ass to school and you learn about shit that happened 1,000 years ago that has no relevance to your life, and you take tests on it and all that shit. What Ferdinand Magellan did, what so and so did, all this bullshit from 1,000 million years ago. But you jump into this black owned culture of hip hop and feel like you don't got to know shit. Nigga, it starts with me and it ends with me. I ain't got to know shit about shit, who did shit 20 years ago, who did shit 10 years ago. Nigga, it starts and ends with me. Whatever bullshit I come out with is the best shit, and fuck everybody. So that's where the outrage came from. Like, Jack Harlow, your white ass is in the black culture. How come you don't know about Brandy and her black relevance? How come you don't know that that's Ray J's sister? So it kind of made him look like, oh, you one of them. You just seen rap as a check, and I'm gonna hop my white ass into rap and get this check. So that's where the outrage came from. Now, personally, I don't feel that way to a certain extent because it ain't really no rap shit. Yes, Brandy, every black person know who Brandy is, old or young.
Right.
Brandy, you are a queen. You are an icon. You have done the damn thing. TV shows, music, rapping, all that. But Brandy, you're not a hip hop artist. You're just not known in you're not a hip hop artist. You know what I mean? And I guess that's where I kind of gave it a pat. I didn't really get outraged about it. Like, it's not like they went on there and they was talking about some shit and this nigga didn't know who
Beyonce was.
yeah, or I'm keeping it still in the rap. He didn't know who Tupac was, or he didn't know that A Ball MJG, something like that.
Right.
Then I would have kind of felt more so the relevance, like, here we go. You in the rap game getting these big checks off of black culture, and you don't know shit about the culture. So that's where kind of like the outrage came from. I feel it's definitely petty, but I'm like I said, for some reason I'm kind of here for this pettiness because I like Brandy a lot, and I also like Brandy as a rapper. Brandy has rapped before in the past on different little verses and things like this, little songs here and there. Brandy got bars.
She
Brandy
actually do.
can,
I was surprised.
yeah, she can out rap yo most poppinest female rapper out today. So I also feel like it's once again, everything is a marketing ploy. Um, Brandy is still rich and hot, but from a from a business perspective, it's still shining more light on Brandy to keep this going for the simple fact that Jack Harlow is the hottest shit out right now. And if I can be part of that little back and forth, yeah, that's definitely gonna make me more relevant, put a little bit more light on me. And then she comes out with the little verse she did and kills him on his own #1 song right now.
Mm.
That does wonders for Brandy. It really don't do shit for Jack Harlow because you didn't let a girl, a female, kill you on your own track, and you didn't let a 43-year-old black female kill you with your little young 20-year-old ass. She killed you on your own track. I gotta play that so y'all so everybody can hear that. I got that shit somewhere. Let me find that. But I was I was impressed. She killed that shit.
She did. She did.
Yeah.
What I would say.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is world famous, one of the greatest living legend. Did I mention my resume is amazing? The game need a breath of fresh air and I'm breathtaking. Painted pictures, Cinderella scriptures, but that don't mean jack in the streets. Jack of all trades, now I'm here jacking for beats. Queens cancel, but you could never cancel a queen. Crown concrete stone.
Yeah. Was going in.
Very nice, very nice. Too, again, we can never know what's going on in Jack Harlow's head because he could have been playing chess. He could have been like, you know what? I know, of course, who Brandy is, but I'm going to act like I don't know because it's going to stir up some controversy and it's going to get my name trending. So it could be that, but I don't know. I would say, me personally, I guess for the younger crowd, I didn't know who Brandy was until this, Brandy Jack Harlow thing went about. So I could understand if he didn't know because he's 20 years old.
He was born in 98. So I think
he like 22 or something.
23.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could understand that. There are some, because I try my best not to consume too much media because I like to stay on my purpose. But as far as hip hop, like I'm really into hip hop, but there's still a lot of older cats that I still don't know. It's just because of my age. I'm not really exposed to it, but you have to dig for the older stuff because there's a lot of talent to be found.
For sure. I would say, me personally, when you from what you said, Quest, about how he didn't really know. When I think about Brandy, she does all respect to Brandy and everything, and she has done her thing. She is a legend in the R&B game, but I think you got to look at it from a standpoint like she's not just this, people who in tune with the music. Yeah, you gonna know who she is, but I never really saw her as just super mega astronomical star. You know what I'm saying? I think she had a big star, and I think she had a big moment. I think she had a good 5-6 year run where she was on the top. But it's like I never consider her like the top dog. I never consider her in the female R&B game, and maybe just barely outside the top 10 of that. I'll probably put her in like the top 15 R&B artists because it's like she has good music. She has hits and everything like that, but I don't think they're as far reaching and as timeless and as long lasting as some of her contemporaries from that time period, or maybe a little bit after her time period, to warrant that instantly recognizable, oh, I know that shit off the top of my head. Like I'll give you the example, Drew. You can't tell me like, okay, we put Tony in the room and we play some, I don't know, let's just say we play some D'Angelo, some Bilal, somewhere in there, something like that. He may or may not know. He may or may not know. But you put some Michael Jackson on, put Thriller on. Instantly, he gonna know who that is and what it's about and what it's up, because you got to take into account that, hey, he is white, but at the same time, you can be into, I'm black and I'm into a whole bunch of white shit, as far as movies or some of the shit that black people don't consider doing, anime or whatever, and it's a whole bunch of shit that I still don't know, and I consider myself to be a connoisseur of some of the things that ain't traditionally cool in the black thing. So I don't think it's possible to know all of one thing. It's some shit is just undeniable to the point where you can't help but know it. But like what Tony was saying, some things you kind of do got to dig. And I feel like, honestly, if you was to start listening to R&B music, especially with women, I feel like it ain't gonna be too long, but it might be a little while before you get to Brandy if you trying to get the best of the best of the best of that experience first. Now I don't know if you agree with that or not. That's just my personal opinion. You know, if I give you a couple names of some women who might be in that same kind of category that you would probably think of first before her, somebody like Mary J. Blige,
Yeah.
somebody like Alicia Keys, somebody like maybe Nalia if she would have lived longer and got to do her thing. A Jill Scott, Whitney Houston, some people like that. You're gonna listen to. You're gonna if they were to play some of that music, I guarantee you there was a higher chance. If Tony says it's true, if he wasn't trying to play it for some controversy or something like that to make headlines, I guarantee you them female artists I just named, he's way more exponentially able to probably name or identify who those people are and who their music belongs to. So
Yeah, it's
but
definitely
yeah,
no,
go ahead.
it's 1000% petty. But like I said, I'm just here for the
I
pettiness.
think the track was pretty decent. You know, she had some decent bars. I'm not used to that. I was like, she rap. That
Yeah,
was my first. I was like, wait, she rap. She got on a what? That was
mhm,
kind of confusing. I'm like, I know you said she didn't did it before, but I ain't never heard it or heard
yeah,
about it. So I'm like, what? Rap. Okay.
mhm,
But
yeah.
she
She
definitely did her thing though.
so my thing with it, yeah, I'm totally not on his ass about it because once again, so Brandy, like you said, she had her time. She had her little 5-6 year run. It's just the songs, the hits she did have was like big hits.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
and then she got into acting and all that stuff. So more so in the black community, Brandy has maintained that relevance
Right.
because she's dropped songs here and there. She's done a lot of movies and different things like that. But musically and really out there in the limelight, it's been over like 12 years to be
Yeah, she didn't
honest.
slow down considerably.
Yeah, so we got to take it back to Jack. Yeah, Jack fucking 10 years old when Brandy's run stopped. So, yeah,
Yeah,
he
and
don't know no fucking Brandy. So I totally get it and understand, and I don't fault him or attack him for it or anything. I honestly I just feel like this is more a marketing ploy from Brandy's end because um once again, this is definitely shining a light on her. It's helping spark back her relevance. It's helping her with the 20-year-olds that don't fucking know about her,
right.
getting them familiar with who she is. Fourth of all, um, so uh earlier this year, I don't know if y'all familiar with it. On ABC. They had that show Queens. Did y'all know about that?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
I seen that.
So
I wasn't interested, but I seen that. It it got canceled, right?
yeah,
Okay.
so that's what I'm getting to. So I ain't gonna lie, the show was dope. I watched the show. I fucked with it because it was all hip hop, um, and that's what it was about. It was about these group of four women in 2000, late 90s. They were huge hip hop group, and then 20 years later, they got kids and life, and they in their 40s and all that stuff. They basically revamp the group, get big again, and do all that. That's what the show was about. And I fucked with it because it was all hip hop and they was really rapping. And Brandy once again rapping her ass off in that show, writing her own shit. Um, Swiss Beats was doing all the production for their little songs. They had real rap motherfuckers on the show. Jadakiss was a huge part of the show, was one of the main characters. So it was hip hop across the board. So I'm fucking with it.
Oh,
So,
you got a nice
but
check
the
off
show
that.
did get canceled. I just feel like the show was too black for ABC. Hopefully 50 will pick it up on Stars and they keep that shit going. But it was definitely too black. I mean, it was real. Um,
Yeah.
so with that show being canceled, I think that's a marketing ploy for Brandy. Like, let me do some more rap shit, kind of play on my character in the show, kind of shit. Maybe it'll bring some more relevance or more hype to it, and maybe we can get the show back going on another network. So I feel it was more, if anything, it was a marketing ploy. I feel it was more from Brandy's end because from Jack Harlow's end, this does nothing for him. Like
No.
you know, so there's no benefit in this situation from Jack Harlow's end at all. So,
and then I think too though, this might be something that this might not even be a thing like next week though. You know, everything moves so fast where if it's not something, I don't think this will be significant enough for it to be this continuing thing where we just, oh, Jack Harlow responded. Now what's Brandy gonna do? You know, I don't think it's gonna be that type of situation. I think, you know, other things are gonna take precedent over that. So whatever she is trying to do, if she did orchestrate this, she need to hurry up and do that shit before we move on and start talking about something else. Because, you know, somebody else gonna get shot, somebody else gonna get slapped up, somebody gonna say some stupid shit, somebody gonna drop something that's either all the way trash or all the way fire, and it's just gonna get lost in the shuffle like everything else usually tends to do.
yeah. I definitely I ain't gonna lie, even though for whatever reason I'm here for this little pettiness, I definitely don't want to see it go further. I don't want to hear a response from Jack Harlow and them going back and forth. No, I definitely do not want to fucking see
Yeah,
that.
no, not at all. And
Yeah.
real quick too, I want to take this moment to shine a light on Jack Harlow and white rappers in the past 10 years, basically since Eminem started making fun music where he can make FU music where I don't care if you like shit or not, I'm gonna make it. I think with because we all know basically Jack Harlow his album is not doing too well right now. The new album it was hyped up. Everybody was saying it's gonna be this and that, and I guess people was supposed to be waiting on it and all this other stuff, and it came and you know he didn't deliver supposedly. And now that's another, and he might not recover, he may recover, but now you got Jack Harlow, you got G-Eazy, you got MGK, you got, you know, all these guys that try to come in to try to be that kind of token white guy that can stand in this black dominated field and hold their own. And they can't do it. And if they, at least not to the way that Eminem do it or did it, I should say. And I just think that kind of proves his, you know, if anybody ever had doubts about Eminem or thought that he ain't one of the greatest or he ain't, you know, special or something like that, I think that just kind of just shines it more and more and more. Cause like, yeah, it kind of was at the point where you kind of like, oh yeah, he was doing that because he was white. And you know damn well it had a lot to do with it. But at the same time, the nigga actually is talented. The nigga actually can deliver. The nigga can actually give you what you want to hear. And all these other guys that try to come after him and take his place or try to be in that same conversation with him, they can't do it. And
Yeah.
I don't know, outside of talent, I don't know what that is. Cause you know, they got the white thing going for them. So why aren't the white people gravitating towards these white rappers the same way that they gravitated towards Eminem? And Eminem was on some whole other different shit than they were, as far as the shock value and saying all this and that and the antics and the shock value, all that other stuff.
Well, I think don't get me wrong. Just I'll say this. Overall, as a whole, white people support and consume hip hop more than black people do. I've said that before. I've been to multiple rap shows, whether I was there as a fan, whether I was there covering it, or whatever the case. And damn near every rap show I think I've been to, there's more white people in the audience than black people, unless it's just been like that hole in the wall kind of little club, you know, where they perform in that type shit, then that's different. But any like major venue, yeah, white people spend that money to come support and see your ass. White people spend that money to actually buy your merch and buy your music. Not saying black people don't. I'm just saying when
They're
they
more
come
likely
out,
to do it.
the white people are more represented there. They're buying that $60 ticket to come see your ass. I think though, while the white people more so embraced M, like kind of like with the Machine Gun Kelly thing. So, like for example, I'll say like Logic is more like a
Yeah,
hip
another
hop
one.
kind of dude, kind of straight lace in the cut with the hip hop. M and Machine Gun Kelly is able to offer you that alternative. I'm hip hop and I rap, but I'm that rock nigga. I'm that crazy motherfucker. White people like that kind of edge. I'm kind of almost like a rock star that's rapping. You know what I mean? They like that kind of edge.
Yeah.
They like their hip hop artists like that. If they're supporting a white guy, I think it's just more appeal that way. Jack
Which is why I
Harlow is
think
just coming. He
Oh, my
coming in
bad.
like I'm on some white Drake shit. You know what I mean? That's kind of what his whole thing, what he's doing. Logic coming in on some, I'm some straight white, a hip hop guy, like straight hip hop across the board. But M had that alternative. I'm crazy, I'm wild, I'm spitting that shit that y'all can relate to. I'm talking about the white life, the white hard life, the trailer park, the this, the drugs, it was just more of an appeal. You know what I'm saying? They covered more bases.
It's funny when
Machine
you
Gun
say that.
Kelly at this point, he's pretty much on his rock shit. He don't even really rap.
Completely. Completely. He left that whole lane alone.
Yeah.
But no, it's funny you say that though, as far as that alternative, because now when you say that, when I look at people like Travis Scott and the success he's had, I'm like, it makes complete sense now. Because he got that rock star alternative / I'm not just a straight rapper. I'm kind of like that token black friend that you got that you be in the back alley smoking weed with after school or something. I got that same kind of vibe to me, So that totally makes sense. I get that. I definitely get that.
100%. So we about to get out of here, y'all. Tone, let me ask you this.
Yep.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you know about UGK and A-Ball MJG?
Probably about a 3, I'd say. I know a lot of older UGK songs.
Okay.
The song he did with Andre 3000. That's one of
Okay.
the, it's obviously one of the top hip hop songs, but not too much.
Okay. Well, I'll help change that for you. But before we get out of here, I want to say, just this Thursday they had the verses. It was on Triller. I was excited about it. UGK versus A-Ball MJG. I was excited about it because that's my childhood. All the hard street shit, that was definitely a big part of it. It was a beautiful thing to see. It was a beautiful thing to hear. Obviously, rest in peace to Pimp C. It wasn't the same, obviously, without him. But it was still just great to see, great to hear. A lot of old heads in the audience. You could just see it in their eyes, reliving. Oh damn, we lost them. Reliving their childhood. But it was just, and I don't know how can I explain it. It felt good because it also felt real black.
Right.
If I can really, I mean, it's and when I say that, how it's certain artists, especially in rap now, that they kind of have that across the board appeal.
Yeah.
Some of their shit is real soft and alternative and real emo and all that shit. A-Ball and MJG, UGK is some of the down home countryest black shit that was ever created. Like it just felt real black. And I like that as well. Like
it's like you got to be told about that kind of hip hop.
Yeah.
You got to be directed and you got to be pointed in that direction.
Yeah.
To either know about it or to learn more about it. You're not just going to automatically just come in and I like hip hop. Now let me listen to Ja Rule to damage it. No, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that. Somebody got to point you in the right direction, or you're going to have to, search on your own time and just expand and see what you like. So, but I don't think the average white hip hop listener is doing that. I believe that there are white listeners who do that because I've seen it with my own eyes. Where they put me on some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is you ain't put me on no shit. I put you on shit.
Right.
But I don't think a lot of majority of white listeners is just there. I think that they're going with the more popular things, what they hear other people listening to, and a combination also with what they hear on in the media, whether it's online, YouTube, TikTok, or playlists and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, y'all. We about to get up out of here. Once again, we appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. So you are familiar. Hit that notification bell so you are aware whenever we drop this dopeness for you to listen to and to watch. Also, keep in mind with Quest Convo, if you can't watch us on YouTube or culture73.com, you can also go to Spotify. If you can't watch us, go to Spotify. We got all episodes of the pods on there. You can just straight listen, get engaged. We appreciate all the love and support across the board. And like I said, with the trending topics edition, we will be doing this every once in a while, throwing it in there, switching it up, still speaking of the culture, about the culture, as well. But yeah, man, we are out of here. I'm Drew Soul Quest, your favorite hip hop connoisseur. You have been watching Quest Convo, where we talk the culture because we are the culture.
And it's your man, Dev Devious. Glad y'all could be with us one more time. And then we going to be back at it again next week. Just make sure you keep checking up for all the notifications, and we going to get back at y'all.
And this is the one and only Tony P. Thank y'all for watching. I really enjoyed being here, talking with you guys. Shameless self-plug here. Follow my Instagram at quicksmalls_ATL.
Definitely. Yeah, y'all follow that guy. Y'all will be seeing a lot more of him around here on Quest Convo. Also, he's gonna have his own pod, which will be on the Culture 73 network as well. Y'all stay tuned to that guy right there. He definitely got something for the masses. He got something for the culture. So we are out of here, man. Appreciate the love. Like I said, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Peace.